Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. This is a fairly interesting game from a standpoint that I have heard a lot of smart people on both sides of this game. So Cardinals sitting 2.5, 50.5 is your total. Steven, look, some people are saying you could tease the Seahawks. I don't know in a game with a 50.5 total if that's something I'm really looking to do. And I also think there's a pretty high variance factor in this game. So I don't like to tease those type of games where I think there's a really high, variance that's going on. You actually do have a bet in your account, though. You did get the full 3 on the Seahawks.
I did, yeah. That's gone. In fact, we're moving closer off of the 2.5 towards 2 for Seattle after some early week money with lower limits on Arizona. This is the time of the week where the opinions that get bet matter more than the beginning of the week with higher limits. So it appears that there's more sharp money on Seattle in this game. This is the other team that I also paired in a money line underdog parlay with Jacksonville here. In fact, I took alt spreads -2.5 on both of them to get a +500 parlay on Seattle and Jacksonville. One of our new writers, Jeffrey Schreiber, notes it pretty well in his mismatch column this week on TheLines.com. Seattle, believe it or not, has the number 1 passing offense DVOA. They have the number 1 passing offense by PFF. They are top 5 in offensive EPA, yards per play, yards per pass, third down offense. Arizona is the worst defense in the NFL by Pro Football Focus. They are bottom 10 in defense EPA. This is not the week where Geno Smith comes back to earth and starts playing like the quarterback we saw against the San Francisco 49ers. And I think we've seen enough weeks now with Geno Smith, who, by the way, is top 5 among quarterbacks in EPA and success rate, number 1 still in completion percentage over expectation. I think we've seen more games than not where he is functional, and credit to Pete Carroll for letting Geno cook more than he ever did Russell Wilson. It's working. Their defense is absolute garbage. They can't stop anybody, but they can score points. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I trust Geno Smith with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf at this point more than I trust Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury and with what they're trotting out there. So, I don't know, man. I think this Arizona this Arizona offense is not very good. I think their defense is just as bad as Seattle's. And this team is laughable, man. I mean, they're in a field goal game last week with a chance to beat one of the best teams in the NFL, but they're too stupid to go actually find a good kicker and decide to sign Matt Amendola, who's missed a fair share of kicks with both the Chiefs this year and when he was with the Jets. They just keep making dumb decision after dumb decision, not only on the game, but also with the roster. I don't want any part of this Arizona team, and I'm actually adjusting my previous preseason opinions on Seattle to think this is a very good, competent offense against other below-average teams in the NFL.
I think they'll be all right against bad defenses. I don't think they're going to be great against competent defenses. The question is do we think that Arizona is a competent defense? I can't really get there on that. I have a lean actually on the other side. Adam, I think you and I are simpatico in this, where I actually have a lean more towards the Arizona side here. I mean, listen, Seattle's going to beat up on bad, on bad teams. They're not going to beat up on competent teams. I don't know if we know whether Arizona's a competent team or not. So that's kind of why I haven't pulled the trigger yet on this thing. But and it's not credit Pete Carroll, by the way. It's credit Seattle's defense, because Seattle's defense is so bad that he's not allowed to run the ball all the time. He has to play this style of offense if he has any chance whatsoever of winning games. Because if you play the way he really wants to play and you limit possessions and you take some of the variance out of the game, they're never going to win. They have to play these shootout games. They have to play high variance games, because that's the only way they're ever going to come out on top whenever they're fielding this defensive unit that they're putting out there. So look, it is the worst, Adam, as we all look at the same stuff. It is a bottom 5 in nearly every single statistical category you can look at from every single outlet out there. And so, for me, it's a big step up also in competition. Now, I don't care what people think their long-term view of Kyler Murray. And if you want to tell me that you think Kyler Murray isn't as good as people think, or isn't, didn't deserve the money he got, whatever. I don't really care. I'm not really going to argue with that. But let's go to the last 3 games here for Seattle. I mean, they played Andy Dalton, Marcus Mariota, and Jared Goff, right? And I mean, in week 1, they got Russell Wilson in whatever version of Russell Wilson that he's actually in right now. And then in week 2, by the way, that was the, Lance gets hurt, and then Jimmy Garoppolo comes in game. So, I mean, like this team is one of the worst defenses we've ever seen going up against that slate of quarterbacks. And if you don't think Kyler Murray is a step up, no matter what your long-term view is of him, I think you're sort of mistaken. So that's kind of why I actually do lean towards the Cardinals here.
In the last 4 weeks, the Arizona Cardinals are 3-1 against the spread. And in the game they did not cover, they were live to cover till about 5 minutes left against the Los Angeles Rams. I know the Cardinals look bad to everyone because Cliff Kingsbury helps to make them look bad with horrible decisions, which is why I'm only a lean on Arizona right now versus playing Arizona. I think the Arizona Cardinals could be better. And if you want to say this game has variance, Matt, variance's name is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is the variance. Kyler Murray could go out there and go nuclear at any given time. And that Seahawks defense could be exactly how he goes nuclear at any given time. And so I don't know that I agree with Steven in the fact that Arizona's defense is as bad as Seattle's. I think they're bad. I don't think they're as bad as Seattle. I won't play a teaser for exactly what you just said, Matt. This does not fit the teaser formula for me because of the total in this game. And respect the market, right? This game opened 47, has been bet up to 51. So that's just how bad everybody thinks these defenses both are. And the one thing I'd say about that passing offense, I'm not going to drag Geno Smith. I am going to say that Tyler Lockett popped up on the injury report with a soft tissue injury here late in the week. And so I don't know that they have a lot of room to take weapons out of this offense and still be as good as they've looked so far. So I'm lean Arizona, haven't played it yet. And thank you, Cliff Kingsbury, for at least making me pause.
Matt, along those lines, if you do want to back Arizona, I wonder if waiting for like the second quarter might be the way for you guys to do it to get an even better number, because Arizona, and this kind of fits with the Cliff Kingsbury isn't sharp narrative, the Arizona offense is dead last in first quarter EPA and 31st in first quarter success rate.
Yeah. The cure for that is the Seattle Seahawks defense. So I'm not going to be waiting on anything. If I'm going to play it, I'm going to play it under the field goal, and we're going to get it going.